Mango Bay, Mango Bay.
Mango Bay.
Mango Bay, Mango Bay, Mango Bay, Mango Bay, your Mango Bay.
For the exclusive content, don't forget to join our Patreon at patreon.com/Mango Bay. Mango
Bay.
Welcome to fucking Mango Bay.
Mango Bay.
Hello, the fuck is up and stuff. You know the drill.
You know the jail.
As
you
we
know
drill. Two brown boys, best boys who fucking hang out in New York with comedians. We bring in the South Asian likenessness to you every fucking week.
Every week.
We haven't stopped
Multiple
1 week.
times. We haven't stopped one single week.
That's insane, dude.
All of our peer podcasts,
Yeah.
always they'll take like a week or two here off. Never.
Bro.
Never. We slave over this.
yeah. My mom died once.
That's true. And we still, the show went on.
And the show resurrected her. That's how good the fucking
That's
show
how
was.
that's how good the show was. Guys, remember to subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Write us a review. Zomato. What are some other old school websites? What is Zomato?
That's the Indian seamless.
Is it?
Wow, I did not know that.
Oh, this is real shit coming at you now.
That's-
Zomato.
Nah, you're lying. Right
Not
now. And
true.
we're gonna fucking verify
oh my
this
God.
later.
The haters rear their heads constantly.
Everywhere you can get podcasts, that's where you can find us. Subscribe to us on Patreon, guys. You get tons and tons and tons, hours and hours and hours of bonus content, topical news clips, bonus episodes, outtakes from episodes, and some new fun stuff that we got cooking that's in the pipeline, in the crack pipeline that we're going to serve to you guys.
Crack, dude. Hello. Sniff, sniff.
Today we have a very special guest.
Today's a wild guest. I was excited to see her on the show because I saw you fucking at this show.
What's her name?
Sonali. She's a pole
Hi.
dancer.
Last name?
Sonali pole
Sonali.
dancer.
So she's, what is she, Native American? Like, that's
Sonali
her
of
thing?
pole. Sonali of dances on pole, I think is your name. You're an amazing pole dancer.
Thank you.
Your fucking IG's fun. It's that's so Nolly.
That's right.
Fun.
That's so Nolly.
Hello.
Okay, yeah.
Fun.
Shout out, That's So Raven.
That's so Raven. That's so Nolly. Yeah. Wait, pole dancer. How'd that even? What? You're the first Indian pole dancer I've ever seen in my life.
Do you know a lot of other Desi or Indian pole dancers?
I know quite a few,
Quite a
actually.
few?
And I've been seeing more and more. I had an Indian man in my class the other day, which was
Okay.
fucking awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Was he-
A talented brown boy.
I love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Straight guy? No way.
I don't know. I don't know.
A couple of spins on that pole.
She tried to be like, I don't know, but she knows.
I don't know.
She knows.
No, I have danced with some straight men.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating. I love to do it. It's a fascinating thing.
All sexual identities.
I love-
The pole welcomes everybody.
The pole welcomes.
The
yeah,
pole is
that's
the great
true.
equalizer.
Yeah. Body types, sexual identities, gender.
We fucking love it. So there are Indians and Desis that are doing this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wait, have you been to Burning Man?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
But I feel like I kind of missed I wanted to go when I was like 16, but I
right.
would have actually died in the desert
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I was pretty
But now
reckless.
you're the old
But
age of
now-
23 or something.
Because
I'm 31.
all the
actually.
people,
Yeah.
all the people I know who are into pole dancing were also super into Burning Man.
Yeah.
Like I remember one time unawares, I didn't know I was
Yep.
going to. It was like a Burning Man party, and I had no idea. But this woman who was like subletting an apartment actually on Jefferson Avenue here, and she travels with her own pole. And she like set it up in the kitchen,
Sure.
and out of nowhere they did like a whole pole show, which is very difficult and extremely intense. But they did
Especially
this
when
move.
there's a shit ton of sand making everything all slippery and dry.
Oh, is that sand makes it slippery?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And it hurts. No, sand. We use grip aids, but if there's a bunch of sand everywhere,
Right.
that does not feel good.
Right? No, I don't know where the sand comes from, but
I thought it was in the desert. At
no.
Burning Man.
This is a
There's a-
party
yeah.
here, right? And so they're
Right.
all like pole dancer
Right.
type people, which of course I have no idea what this is about at the time. And then there's this guy there, and I had seen this guy once before in my life. It was at Jacob Reese, the beach, and it was like on the queer side of the beach, and everyone's a fucking party there. And I'm seeing this guy walking around with just a jockstrap, and he has like a cell phone holder on the jockstrap, and I was like, this guy's the fucking man.
yeah.
And I'm just like, and then this was the same guy at this
Right.
party. I'm like, holy shit.
Jockstrap guy.
It's jockstrap
I know
guy.
those balls anywhere.
And then his guy fucking knows how to work the pole like a motherfucker. And they did this move called the surfer Do you know this?
Yeah,
move?
yeah.
What is that?
I've done it.
And this woman was kind of Amazonian.
Oh, yes.
She's very tall. She was like 6 feet tall. She gets on. She's horizontal on the pole. He hops on her back on the pole, and then they spin around, and he's like cowabunga.
Do you do that?
I have done that move before, but the trick is that you're not actually the person who's standing on whoever is the surfboard. You're not supposed to actually bear weight. So
Right,
that
yeah.
person is
You're
holding
holding on, yeah.
themselves
Right.
with
Yeah.
their weight.
So you're like, it's actually not that cool that he's fully
No, it's
horizontal.
fucking
It's like
cool.
not chill at
It's
all.
fucking
She
cool.
was horizontal.
Yeah.
She
No,
was
but I've had
he was a
friends
wee
who
man.
didn't.
He was a wee fellow. Yeah.
I've had friends, if you don't know that and you
Yeah.
put all your weight on.
Right. There's like
Yeah.
surfboard becomes the shark bait real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have your own like pole that you travel around with?
I have one in my apartment, yes, but I don't have a like portable stage pole yet.
Okay.
I do want to get one.
You get
but
invest in
I
the
don't have
next step, right? Once
Yeah.
you get that, then you can go.
You can be like a journeyman pole dance, like
right.
like kung fu
Travel
or
pole.
something,
Yeah.
and you like do pole dance, and then you also solve people's problems and stuff, right?
Yeah.
the pole dancer.
Yeah, like the A team or something.
Yeah, I actually had the guy who came to install my blinds in my apartment. I just slipped him an extra $20 and he installed my pole for me.
Wow,
amazing.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he I was like, have you ever installed one of these before? And he was like, no. A little sheepishly, like, no.
This is landlord.
No, this is some random
like a
guy from
task
Bed Bath &
rabbit.
Okay, I'm
Beyond.
imagining some Greek landlord like, what I do, I don't. That's insane. Some task rabbit. Insane. Okay, okay. So like, how long have you been doing that? How long has this pole dancing been going on?
A little over 4 years now.
Nice, nice. You're a senior,
Oh my god.
about to graduate.
Barely.
How your parents are down with this?
My parents are super supportive.
is
It's really
amazing.
cool. My parents are awesome.
As long as you do Arangetram with the pole, it's fine.
Did you train in any other kind of dance or anything before?
I did not actually. I played a lot of sports growing
Yeah.
up and was on a bunch of different sports teams in high school. Got
You've
all
always
my
been a physical person.
adolescent aggression
Right,
out
right,
on
right.
the field, but I fell off in college and I never danced actually. Like
Well, I'm
formally.
blown away that they're into it. Are they, your parents always been cool? This is like, I guess, the new Indian crop of parents. Are just
That's
like,
what it is.
You know?
Well-
like Gen Z Bharatanatyam would be like literally just fucking with poles involved or something like that.
There's layers to this.
Okay.
So they've been cool with it. They did have an intervention about my social media where I ended up having to remove them.
Oh shit, okay.
Blocking
And
mean
some-
your parents.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
some of my
always-
aunties and uncles.
Yeah.
But I do have one uncle that's always been super supportive, and no matter how
Weirdly,
Yeah,
one-
weirdly.
One
There's this one uncle.
I have this on
Like
my
a father
one
to
uncle-
me.
Oh,
no,
yes.
one uncle who, no matter what the video is, he's always like, "Wow, Shona, so strong."
Oh, strong. I'm sure it's
So
a strong thing. that
Always,
looking
he's
for.
always seen the strength in it, which is beautiful.
And that's it.
Which is
and
what,
that's it. I promise.
which is what they all should see, honestly.
right.
Among
Okay,
the
that's
other
a
things.
very innocent interpretation of this creepy uncle being on the IG,
This
just
guy's
like, so
Oh,
strong.
only muscle now.
So
I see.
strong.
What skill? Dot. Oh my god.
strong.
He's vying all over the floor.
Va.
He's vying all over the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We
no,
love you,
but-
Uncle Sonali, dude. But also weird.
yeah, creepy.
That's cool.
Yeah, but they saw, so I found pole at a weird time in my life. I went through basically a really shitty breakup.
Sure.
And was looking for a hobby. And I had seen videos of people in my Instagram feed pole dancing. And I thought it looked really hard, but really beautiful. And I was just like, I'm sure if I tried hard enough, I could do that. So I finally took a class and I realized that for the hour and change I was in that class, I was actually present and not thinking about all this other shit that was
bullshit.
bumming me out.
Boom.
So I was like, damn, that felt good. And I also realized how disconnected I was with my body. And
The whole deal. I mean,
it was
Desi's-
a lot of
Desi's have
things.
that.
Yeah. So, it became something that was like very cathartic for me.
Mm.
And aside from the actual therapy I go to, another form of therapy that was really powerful.
We're all a little
and
late.
Changed my life.
Right. Desi's a little late to all this body knowledge and understanding.
I mean, not really.
Not really. What
No,
do you
no.
What about yoga?
I mean,
Bharatanatyam,
not as a-
I mean,
not as a
Ayurveda,
culture. Not as a
yoga.
culture.
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying,
mean-
I'm saying as like growing up in America, repressed Muslim or the way religion kind of treats her body.
Yeah.
It's not as like, commune with it and really understand it. Hinduism goes more in depth with that, but Islam is more like your body belongs to this God and that's fucking it.
Right.
Totally. And I mean, I have two older brothers, and they
Who also pole
definitely also, yes, very well. It's
a hot little family.
We're a hot group.
Your uncle's getting into it. Hey, ladies, what's up?
Yeah. But I mean, through them also, I'm the youngest and I'm the only girl. So I think I get away with a lot compared to them. My older brother really got the strictest version of my dad.
Well, what do they do?
So my oldest brother lives in New York. He's 41. We're
Okay.
10 and a half years apart.
You're saying like the mystical age that doesn't.
41.
No one's ever 41. What does that
Yeah.
even mean? 41. People are 41 out here.
Yeah.
What does he do?
He works in finance.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Classic.
finance.
Okay.
My middle brother is 7 years older than I am,
Okay.
and he's in Florida. Yeah.
Damn, your mom was
Okay.
fucking
Just
cooking.
in Florida.
He was a tough baby, so
That's
she
his credit
wait-
is that he's in Florida.
He was a
she
Florida
waited.
baby.
She waited a long time. But yeah, no, my older brother is like the star child, you know,
Okay.
ticking all the boxes for my parents.
Right.
Is marrying a lovely Indian woman, wants
yeah.
kids. So I'm
The-
like,
the good
cool,
stuff.
thanks. They can
Right.
stay off my back.
Well, it's just a fascinating thing. Your parents, and again, it's like a testament to like Bengalis' love of art and like you know that. Like, if it was anybody to accept pole dancing, it'd be some Kolkata Bengalis. I feel like.
Yeah,
There's
totally.
The level of just artistic fucking history in that place.
Yeah.
Were your parents the ones always playing Rabindrasangit in the background and pule pule
Yeah.
dhole? They're not that.
No, they
are.
sometimes, not as often, not like every day. I have some aunties that would wake up and like play that in the morning.
First thought is just like some Rabindra. It's all sad music.
Yeah.
It's all very sad Bengali. All our Bengali standards are very sad. They're all like very like slow and just sort of funeral marches, you know. But it's about like lilies.
It's like quite poetic though, right?
it's very poetic, yeah.
Yeah.
Quite poetic.
So was this the reason, or were your parents very like artsy, and that's how they're very into the pole dancing? Because the connotations of pole dancing are very much tied to sex work in many ways, right?
Well, I mean, we wouldn't have the pole dancing that we see today without strippers,
Right,
without
right,
sex
right,
work.
right.
So of course, yeah, it's a natural connection.
do
So
sex workers kind of see that as like taking from that? Like, do they see like as why y'all take our shit, or is it kind of like it's become its own thing, like pole dancing?
I mean, I think they're both so interconnected because a lot of the moves that you see
Yeah.
that are really well known or people will do in competitions were invented in the strip club by
Right,
strippers.
right.
And you can't really say like, I mean, sure, there are people who pole dance and try to separate themselves and will
Right,
take
I'm not a whore,
and
blah, blah,
will
blah.
take like the aesthetic from sex
Oh,
workers. It's
fuck
like
them,
they'll fucking
dude.
wear the heels,
Yeah.
they'll wear the harnesses, but they'll be like, oh no, I don't do that. And it's just like, get over yourself.
Everyone's got camel toe. All right, I don't care
Yeah.
what you're doing. The camel
Yeah.
toe's there.
So your parents they are into it, or they're supportive of it. Like, have they come to see you perform?
I've
Whoa.
invited them. Well, so they could come
Whoa.
to Shtick It. They can't come to all my performances.
Sure, we-
I think a lot of my performances would not be super family friendly.
It's like 3 humps or less. They'll bring them in. Fourth
It's like
hump, you got
do
it.
I have pasties on? Do I have a top on? How many clothes am I
Right.
wearing?
Love the how she gets
How-
his
so
on
have
there.
they come?
How covered? No, they were supposed to come to my first Shtick It show, but they were out of town, sadly. But I would totally invite them to a show that, like Shtick. Where
Shtick is the family-friendly Nickelodeon version of this, right? It's like fun lingerie for the whole family.
it's a great show.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
It's literally, you know what it is? It's like strippers go up, right? Everyone's there for the strippers. Everyone's cheering. Comic goes up. Everyone's like,
Oh, was it a
comedy-
bummer when the comic goes
no,
up?
like if the comic wasn't on it,
Yeah.
it was not going to go well because they're
Right.
not there for the comics. We don't bring anybody. They
Right.
bring everybody.
Right.
So it's like, keep it going for Brenda and Brenda's whole
Yeah,
floor,
yeah.
cubicle floor is there. Like, woo! It's a great vibe. But sometimes if a comic isn't there, no one's there for him, and he sucks. It's like, okay, you bring back the fucking pussies,
Right.
But it was like amazing. Everyone who performed that day was like amazing. It was great. A lot of it's about flow, right? How you spin and like going from move to move. The same way, like it's better. The jokes get heavier laughs if there's a flow to it. In the same way, I could see like the newer ones. If between moves, there was a little more of like a division. I can see this move starting now, ending now. This move starting now, ending now. With the real good ones, it was like a flow. Like you didn't really see them stop spinning.
I mean, there's a lot going on that stage. It's really nerve-wracking
Yeah.
also. So I think some people who could be, even with me, I think
Right.
I'll see stuff that may look way smoother when I do it in the studio, and then I did it on stage, and that was the one time I fucked up.
Right. Is it spin the pole?
It does spin.
Oh!
Mine was spinning. So there's 2 modes. There's a static mode and there's a spin mode.
Because
And you
Is
can-
the static mode supposed to be harder?
It's not that one is harder than the other. They just have their own set of challenges. So with static, personally, I prefer spin because I like to hold poses and it can just be a lot more like visually
Sure,
pleasing. It
sure.
just looks crazy. You're
Yeah.
spinning really fast. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, whoa, what the fuck?
It looks crazy.
Yeah, it looks
Okay.
crazy. But with static, you have to do a lot more work.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you can't just sit there and you're spinning around.
Right.
Everyone's like, oh.
So people who have static can do spin level shit. Like they can like the wrist arm is just pushing them around.
Well, you can use your wrists to do static rotations, but with spin,
Yeah.
the challenge is one, you get dizzy as fuck.
Sure.
So I've had to condition myself to not
Has
get
anyone ever
dizzy.
barfed on the pole?
I almost threw up on the pole one time, not during a performance, but
Yeah.
when I first started learning how to do spin pole, after my first spin class, I had to just lay on the ground for 20 minutes and breathe, do deep breathing exercises.
But then it gets more kinky. There's like, oh, we're
Yeah.
that kind of show now. Okay, all right, it's the barf play.
Yeah.
Insane, dude.
And there's like the centrifugal force, so
Sure.
you also have to learn how to control the momentum of the pole. Like, there's a lot going on with
the spin
with
is constant.
static.
Like, is it
Yes, but
constant?
it's
Like
depending on how. I mean, it can stop if you hold, depending on how spinny the pole is. But it's like the faster you move and the closer you pull yourself into the pole, the faster you will spin.
Sure, sure.
And the slower you move and the more that you can expand your movements, that will slow you down. But you can play with momentum in that way.
That's fascinating.
Is there like, it's a dance, right? So is there like what is the actual instruction like? Is it like other dance forms where you have forms that you have to go through and then you are able to put it all together? Like what is I don't know. Like when you
First
perform,
position.
it's always to songs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It's like the music affects the whole vibe.
Right.
Right.
What is like the arc of a performance? Is it?
It's different for everybody, but for me, my process is for this show in particular. So the whole shtick, I don't know if it's like this for comics too, but for the dancers, we aren't told what the theme is until we commit to the show. And then the
interesting.
theme is revealed, and then we provide our top 2 song selections, and then Joanna and Dan will assign us a song. So you may not always get your top choice, and you
Yeah.
don't really know what artists you'll be dancing to until you've already committed to the show. So
Oh,
that's
that's
part
interesting.
of
Okay.
that's part of the fun of it. So with this show in particular, I really just need to wait until I know what song I'm dancing to, and then I like to listen to it and visualize what moves I can see myself doing and what would work musically.
Yeah.
But then I actually go into the studio and try and work it out. And it's always a little different, it never works the same way that it did in your head. But a lot of the work for me is done through visualization. And then I'll go into the studio and actually work it out and get it in my body.
So you do. So you craft your performance around the theme of the show and then the song that you're assigned specifically, right? Okay, that's interesting.
Is there a move that looks easy but is actually fucking insane? Like when they do like the leg out on both ways and just start bouncing, that looks like a lot of wear and tear.
Dude, everything.
That's
everything
crazy.
in pole fucking looks, and especially everyone on the show, we make it look easy, but
Right.
that shit is so hard.
Wrist got to be fucking on fire at the end.
Everything. But I mean, there are certain moves in pole that may look more complicated, but then when you actually get down to doing it, it's easier than it is. And then there are also moves that look fairly simple, but then when you try and do them, you're like, what the fuck?
That's true. I mean, I used to dance when I was growing up. My mom forced me into like dance practices and stuff like that, and like classical Indian dance, and even just the fucking normal step motion, like the ta. It's like at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 count sometimes and stuff like that. It's really wild the way they even the bass motions. Is there like a first position, second position pole? Like you get on and you fuck like this is like the first how you start every time you start a dance move. You has to be in this position. Like a spin is like first position or something like that.
There are like foundational holds and
Right.
grips that it'll vary depending on what you're trying to do. But I mean, there are like certain things where you'll just want to have your hands in this position to do this move, and you'll want to set yourself up or distribute your weight in this way. And there's just so much going on that people don't realize. I think that's also why it can be pretty meditative for a lot of people, myself included, because you really can't be thinking about anything else while you're doing that. If your mind wanders and you're upside down,
Yeah. Your
18
mind's already
feet in
wandering,
the air,
literally. Right.
yeah, but it's like I'm just thinking about what I'm doing in that moment.
Dude, I don't even know what the fucking spin thing.
Are you thinking, or is it like a muscle memory thing, and you just have to allow that to happen without your thoughts interfering?
It depends on what I'm doing, but it can totally be a muscle memory thing. And sometimes I'm just in the flow and I don't really know what I'm doing or what I did, but it's just what feels good and what my body takes me into.
I like it. That's kind of us too. The performance. It's
Yeah,
like,
because you can't think about your jokes as you're doing them, right? You have to really just be in the moment with them. I think that's how all performance is, and I think that's how all athletics are as well, right?
Because the brain doesn't do anything good for you in these moments.
No.
You're already there.
And you can always tell when
Flow.
somebody, like if I watch a video of myself and I've been going through a flow and really feeling it out, as soon as my brain starts to overthink or focus on what's happening, I can see a change in
terrible.
my movement.
I feel that too. I feel like I'm disgusting.
Yeah.
But like, ew, you suck. You're fucking fake, right? It's very real.
Yeah, it's so real.
I would assume that this kind of profession and your Instagram, you gotta like get some fans, you gotta make it happen. The DM must be a little fucking crazy.
Actually, my DMs are not that crazy.
Cause you were out there, you were dancing in this. Your IG is like, hey, I'm a pole dancer. Here's some pole dancing. Here it is. And you know, how many Indian uncles fucking I love the Gaga song you did.
I honestly get more uncles messaging me on LinkedIn than on fucking Instagram.
It's still pole dancer though?
No.
Okay.
It's for my like day job. But on Instagram, I just
on LinkedIn now?
Are they getting like creepy?
not actual uncles, but
Right.
like random Indians.
It's
you know,
creepy
like
news.
Mukesh from Mumbai.
Mukesh from Mumbai. It's like, I love your portfolio.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, they're on LinkedIn now.
Yeah.
Of course. All those guys grew up on Facebook and now they're on LinkedIn. They're like
Yeah.
finally in the workforce.
Yeah, Gopal trying to recruit me for his MBA course.
He's trying to recruit, all right. Jesus Christ.
No, but it's like I don't really get too many crazy DMs, surprisingly. And I mean, of course, I'll get like the occasional artist sliding in there, being like, "Hey, I'm a photographer. Like, can I take some
Collaborate.
nude
You're
You're
photos
the photographer guy.
of you?"
Lingerie optional.
I'll do a free painting of you nude, and
Wow.
you can.
It's a steal.
I can't pay you, but you know, I can give you the print.
You also can't paint probably, this guy.
You said there were competitions for pole dancing?
There are.
So like, what is the basis for judging those? Is it like...
I'm not sure. I've never competed. I don't have an interest in
Is there
doing
like a
that.
super pole?
No, there are different types of competitions and they're put on by different organizations. So there are national organizations and then there are international organizations, and I think they all have different criteria for how performances are judged. Like there are different levels and tiers, and for certain levels or certain categories you'll need to include, like you'll need to work certain moves into your
Like
piece.
pussy pop has to be done.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a move?
Must have three pussy pop. No, what's the move called where like they're on the ground splits and they're just jumping up and down? Like
That's just what I mean. The
What is
clam,
that move?
Clam slam.
the clam
Clam
slam.
slam.
I don't know if that's the official name, but that's what I call it.
Hell yeah. Sorry. Can I get excited? Clam slam. Okay, sorry. That was awesome. I said it like Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was
Yeah.
I'm
My
gonna clam
fucking-
slam you, brother.
Hell yeah, brother! My fucking favorite. You know, I was him for
What are
Halloween.
some other move names that you can tell us?
Please. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't make that name up. That's just what like people I know and myself call it colloquially.
right.
Yeah.
The clam slam.
Wow.
I mean, there's
Whoa.
whole different types of
Click
moves.
grit, where you fucking hold on to the pole, start spinning.
Classic.
Classic.
Yeah.
What the clam slam is fucking insane. What else? WWE Raw Clam Slam
Fuck yeah.
pay-per-view. But I mean, there's move sets that are harder and harder and harder, right? So take us through like when you first start out, what do you gotta learn? Then you gotta
Okay.
fucking upgrade to clam tap. Then you can slam it or something, you know? How does it kind of
Who is
progress?
like the godfather or the godmother of pole dancing?
I actually don't know, but I can tell you it's probably a couple of strippers somewhere.
Oh yeah, the
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
how long has this been like a thing of its own?
So
Outside
I
of the
think
strip club, like its own art form.
maybe since the 80s or 90s that pole fitness evolved from like strip clubs, because that's where you really saw the first like 45 millimeter steel
Right,
pole and
right.
people like moving in this way around that. And I think those kind of popped up like after the Second World War, when everyone was depressed as shit and was like, I need titties in my face now.
yeah, the strip club explosion post World War
Yeah,
II.
yeah.
Gotta be a big thing there.
Yeah.
Oh god.
really popped off.
You know, flapper will flap them titties in my face. Goddamn.
But then I think, the 80s and 90s is probably when pole fitness evolved from
White
that.
girl. Some white girl found it, right? Took it to her fucking studio.
Maybe some white girl like made it famous, but
kind of
you
thing.
know.
Well, it's definitely like a great money-making novel opportunity. It's like Zumba or whatever. And it's like, this is pole dancing.
I mean,
and
it's an insane.
my husband's going to think
like,
this is sexy and da-da-da.
on an actual fitness level and in terms of a workout, it's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It's like strength, flexibility, coordination, all the things.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, like,
Vertigo.
yeah, there's so many things that you don't have to move. There's not one type of way to pole dance. You can work so many different types of movement into it, and you don't have to like be doing crazy tricks up in the air to look good. Like I've seen some of the most beautiful work has been grounded floor work. And,
Amazing.
Like you don't have to have a certain type of body type. Anyone can pole dance. Like
Really?
yeah,
Anyone can pull this.
anyone.
I mean,
Even
like it.
people, amputees can pole dance,
Okay.
different
People
body
with no-
types.
People with no arms?
Yeah,
How did
How?
People with no arms and legs.
I've seen it. I don't know if no arms and legs, but
Okay.
I have seen a video of someone who had one arm and one leg pole
Amazing.
dancing.
That's incredible.
Yeah, she was incredible.
Oh my God.
So there's all different types of ways that you can incorporate movement around this apparatus, and it's like you don't have to do
Fucking
it
love it.
one way or look a certain type of way to do it and do it well.
That's fucking fascinating.
is there like a specific warm-up that you do?
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, everyone does their warm a little differently depending on what they're going to do for the day. But in my class, I'll always do like a 15 to 20 minute warm up, just like warm up the whole body. And then in an intro class, I'll teach people how to hold the pole, how to walk around the pole, how to do like a very basic body rolls, 2 spins. Like if people are really progressing quickly, maybe I'll work like a certain type of turn in there, or I'll start to teach people like how you would get in the position to climb the pole. But it's like super things that would sound really fundamental. I mean, things that would sound really easy and basic, but when you're actually in there doing them and you've never done it before,
Right.
it's fucking hard.
I can barely do one Pilates class. It seems like you're just like doing downward dog on a fucking mat, but it's insane. Holding
Yeah.
the
At what
poses.
point do they learn the clam slam?
Oh, the clam
Is that
slam.
an advanced move?
It's different for everybody. I think it just depends. It
And
depends on
today, folks, clam slam.
it just depends on people's flexibility. Like I think there are people who've been dancing for years, but if you're not comfortable in a split in that way, or you have an injury, then it's going to be a hard move for you. But
Clam twist only.
yeah, like it just depends on how flexible you are and how comfortable you are, like getting into that position.
Right. Injuries must be like super common.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think now
so
that
strenuous
things have,
looking.
Yeah, but I think now that the like pole community has grown so much that there's a lot more knowledge about like prehab and maintaining your body and just kind of learning how to listen to it and take care of it to prevent injury.
Right.
But I mean, it's still pretty common. We're doing really, constantly doing things that are so physically intense that.
I mean, you can see it. The proof's in the fucking pudding. It's like it looks insane.
Yeah.
And that's why.
I mean, it looks really. You can tell it's
Yeah.
tough. Any like sensible, intelligent person is going to look at that and be like, "Wow, that's difficult." But every time I see somebody dancing on a pole, it looks fun and easy, right? No, like it looks
they're
like
doing a good job.
yeah, no, right? But it looks
Right.
like play, right?
Right.
You're
Yeah.
kind of swinging off and you're doing all these things, and it seems like you could do that. But the minute if I touch something like that, I'm going to be like,
Right.
"Bleh, I can't."
And
you
it
know?
is really fun. And after a certain point, like the moves that look like that, at least for me, some of them do at this point feel fun and easy. And other times it's like I'm muscling through.
What is the
Right.
hardest move that you've ever learned? Like, what is the pinnacle of your practice so far?
I mean, maybe for me, it would probably be stuff that requires me to like twist into really bendy positions in my
Contortion
shoulders.
and shit like that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
something that I've trained, but it's an ongoing process. Or I think just the most physically demanding thing that I have not been able to do yet that I'm working on is called it's like a deadlift iron X. So that's when
A
you see
deadlift iron
people
X?
when you see people holding on with their arms like this and they just lift their legs up without jumping.
Oh, that's
and
fucking
then
insane, dude.
flag,
Yeah.
and then they
Flag,
come
yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, that requires like what the forearms got to be.
Core,
Oh,
obliques.
core.
Yeah.
Dude, armpit muscles got to be
Everything.
strong.
Arms. I mean everything, but it's like
Jesus.
a lot.
Yeah, that's a
Right, right.
motherfucking move right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, no one's. I mean, it's just, it is truly art and fucking a sport and a fucking spiritual exercise, kind of all in one.
Do you view it that way as a spiritual exercise?
Absolutely. It's been really cathartic for me. It's been very physically and emotionally healing for me, and I feel like I'm just a 2.0 version of myself
Because of pole.
pre-pole.
4 years ago,
Yeah.
shambles emotionally.
Yeah.
Shit's tough.
Feeling real shit.
Feeling real shit in New York. Ew. When you're sad, New York loves to be like, hey, here's another thing.
Yeah.
Like the day of the saddest day, a homeless guy will piss on you just so New York can win, right?
Yeah.
So you're in that space. You are out of college. You're working, right?
Yeah, I was way
27,
out of
right?
yeah.
And then in 4 years, that's a big turnaround, yo. 4 years to get into a space where you're very fucking healthy, emotionally stable.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Thank
And
you.
how did your parents? I want to hear about the whole IG like standoff with your parents. I've had that just with comedy stuff and in general, right? So like, what was that? So they were supportive of you doing pole and like as an art form and all that. And I mean, I guess it's not something you're trying to make a living off of either, right? They're like, oh, this is her hobby maybe, or this is something that she just does outside of work hours, right? So they were kind of okay with that.
Well, I think for one, they saw what a positive impact it had on me. So, and my parents, they really just want their kids to be happy. They're the most loving, supportive parents. So that's the biggest thing for them. And they saw that I went from being just like a hot mess and in a shitty mood all the time to actually feeling motivated and like happy again.
Right.
I gotta stop being so surprised when I hear brown people have great parents.
I know. Listen,
we gotta stop this.
We have like much more older school
I
kind
know.
of brown parents. We're always used to just like the beating.
So yeah, how much they and you're like, no, they were very open with me.
Yeah.
And we had dialogue, and I'm like, yeah,
It's like the new school of.
They've been, I mean, my parents have really come a long way. Like
Right.
my middle brother is bipolar and has struggled with his mental health and like institutionalization and incarceration for a lot of his life.
Okay, shit.
And I think that really forced them to confront and work through a lot of these preconceived notions that they had about mental health and like treating your child, you know, when someone that you love so deeply goes through some shit like that, it really pushed them to work through a lot of things that I think maybe a lot of brown parents have never had to confront in their own families. And so
I feel like in every brown family, there's always one incident that happens to them that then forces them to have to reckon with the humanity of their kids a little bit. You know what I mean? Like my brother had like an unplanned pregnancy, you know what I mean? And then that they had to just open up their whole eyes to this thing outside of their control and learn how to be human beings. So that sounds like that's what it was with yours, was your brother.
Yeah, and they, you know, I think at this point there's nothing that I could do in the realm of things that I'm capable of doing that would ever surprise them or shock them to a point of, like, I have learned throughout our lifetime my parents would never abandon any of their children. It really is.
What I'm hearing too is that, you know, my point is actually more solidified now because for an Indian parent to like accept their son, another one has to go to jail first.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just like, oh shit.
Okay, so
shit.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe some dialogue. Now.
Yeah,
maybe some dialogue.
Maybe we should talk. Listen, no joke, and this is kind of depressing, but like there was a kid in our community group who killed himself, and after that, our parents had to be like, mental health, like this is a thing.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, like brown parents don't talk, like have such old school ideas about mental health, and they think like, oh, you need to talk to somebody, like lock you up in a loony bin or
Right.
something.
I love how you're doing the bobbing, but it's like still very angry.
Yeah.
Hey,
Loony bin.
no, loony bin.
Yeah.
It's like you look like you belong there right now. You can't not do this.
Yeah,
in
you
the
can't. Yeah. When I'm talking about my parents, I can't not.
He's schizophrenic now.
Yeah. We just have to talk.
Well, that's fucking insane. How's your brother doing
But yeah,
now?
so my he's currently incarcerated.
Okay.
Yeah,
Intense.
but he's
Intense.
It is. Yeah, but he's, you know, he's getting his degree. He's
On
really on the inside, and he's like, we talk to him frequently. We see him whenever we can.
crazy.
And
Where is he? Where?
he's in Florida.
Whoa. So he's just in Florida.
Yeah,
That is the
it's like
prison.
it's like a long story, but he basically kind of ended up getting sucked into the Florida Department of Corrections like many years ago when he was down there and hasn't really been able to get out of it. And
Whoa.
Florida's wild.
Yeah.
Florida is wild. What the fuck?
Yeah, but you know, I'm super proud of
Right.
how far he's come and everything that he's doing, and I think he's so mentally strong and is able to just like do his thing in an environment that really like crushes so many people.
He's
Right,
thriving
of course.
almost. Like, that's amazing. It's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Bro, I mean, I used to be in my room studying and be like, I'm losing my brain cells, right? He's like in a legit confine and he's fucking growing.
Yeah.
I get it. A parent would be fucking open after that. Like, that's heavy.
Yeah, because then they have to really reckon with what they're doing, who
Right.
they are, and like really get into
Right.
it. So
That's
yeah,
fucking for real.
and it's been a journey for them too. And I think the way that they talk about their own mental health and how like forgiving they can be of themselves, and just it's really opened them up in a lot of ways.
It is crazy because your thing is so to the out of left field, right? In terms of like traditional brown culture. So it was kind of interesting probably that in their growth, like your brother happened, they're like, you know what, whatever happens next, whatever, I will accept. And she's like, I'm a pole dancer. They're like, all right, okay,
like we did say anything, I guess.
fuck, okay, all right, give us a moment.
I mean, like I really want to understand what their relationship is to you doing what you do, right?
Yeah, but I mean, to answer your question, this whole moment with my parents' intervention. So they called me over. It was a whole thing. They called me over so they split their time between Miami and Manhattan, and they called. They're snowbirds.
Jewish,
Yeah.
much? Okay.
So they called me over to their place for dinner. And my mom, like, they tried to talk to me, and my dad was like, so, Shona, the other morning I was having my tea.
Oh no.
You know, I was sitting down, opening my phone, looking through social media, and I see something in my feed, and I was like, what is this bloody shit?
What is this bloody shit? Classic.
And he's like, this video that I posted, basically. And then he just kind of went off, and he's like, I don't know. Why do you have to post such things?
What is
like,
Clam Slam?
pole dance, do what you want. But, like, why do you have to show it like this? He said I looked like a cheap stripper. I was like,
Cheap.
I was like, how do you know what that looks like?
I can't have my daughter clam
But thank
slamming her
you.
coochie all over the place.
Poochie poochie.
Also, the crazy thing was that it compared to other stuff that I had posted at that time, it wasn't even that like the most egregious, what I would think would be the most egregious
Right.
offense in their eyes. But this was just, I guess, the straw that broke the camel's back.
Because if they scrolled one more scroll,
Yeah,
then the
yeah.
deep
Exactly.
the deep state, the deep Sonali stuff, like this one was banging a dude.
Well, do
just
you
on
think
a
your
pole.
dad has been to strip clubs? Was he like, this isn't Rick's Cabaret or something like that? You're like, this isn't Biggles on Queens Boulevard on Tuesday nights.
I mean, if he has, it would probably be Rick's.
Right, right. Rick's is the most Indian
Rick's
uncle
is like the old uncle
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
for sure.
club establishment.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Probably.
One time I told Pranav, I opened my dad's wallet to get like a 20 in there to steal money. There's a bunch of ones in there. That's all were kind of crumpled and smelled weird. And I was like, someone clam slammed down these a couple days ago. And I know what but bro, it's like a repressed environment, bro. He can't really express his sexuality. He needs a strip club. I'm fucking all for it, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder
But
if the strippers were all for it. They're like, get this fucking weirdo out of here.
Or he was their best customer, like, oh, Intercab's here. Uh-oh, everyone take off their condoms.
I remember a really weird, like, there was a guy, he was my friend's roommate. He was from South Korea, and he, like, didn't know about going to strip clubs or whatever at the time. This was like 10 years ago or something. And, like, we were all going for his bachelor party. And he didn't know the etiquette of being in a strip club.
Right.
And so he's just there and he's just like really, he's drunk and he doesn't really know what he's experiencing. And he's just going up and just like watching other men get lap dances. And he's just like standing in front of them really awkwardly, just like staring at a dude getting a lap dance.
That's insane.
We had to like pull away, like, Paul, not like this, bro. Not like this.
He's the guy sitting on his lap.
Yeah,
He's like
yeah.
the double lap dance.
He starts dancing on guys. He's like, what? Isn't this what we're
doing?
supposed to do here?
Dude, my friends like that too, man. The weirdos always don't take a weirdo to a strip club because they just don't know how to handle. They didn't, you need to get him in with porn first. My friend Shrevik, he had asthma. One of the weirdest kids. Glasses, only knew geography, knew every capital of every country in the world. That's
a bad sign.
Bad sign. Bad weird guy. He's like Antananarivo is Madagascar. What the fuck? He goes to the strip club, right? We're all like, maybe someone keep an eye on Shrevik. This guy's gonna be a little crazy, right? We go to the bathroom, we come back, he's like eating someone's ass. Like he's literally so deep into someone. I'm like, what?
Stravik's big night out.
Stravik's big night out. He has asthma. He's using the asshole as an inhaler. He's just like, it's fucking.
I hope he tipped her extra for that.
I hope he did because it fixed his life. Now he's got like married and shit. But Shrevik was the weird.
Hey, strippers are society's naked therapists.
Yeah, right.
Sex workers are.
And they're working with the weirdest clientele, the people who have maybe sometimes the least ability to handle themselves in the situations. Right? It's not like you're a super mentally I'm perfectly, and you're a regular at a strip club.
I think there's all types of people that go in there, but the common thread would be that they're looking for a fantasy and some type of connection. Of course, you're gonna get the like party that goes in occasionally and is like, no, we're just like here for someone's bachelor party or some shit. But I think more of the regulars are people that are there for some type of like connection.
Right. No, I've seen that, and I have like a couple stripper friends, and they're like also addicted to it though.
Oh, right.
Like they're addicted to that life, and like not just the money, but like just the whole atmosphere and the excitement of being there gives them a certain rush, and they find it hard to extricate themselves from. Because I mean, look, to be a stripper, at some point your body is going to give way. It's not something you can do until you're 80 or something, right?
Tell Atlanta that, dude.
Tell Atlanta.
Claremont Lounge.
Tell Wilkes Barre, Pennsylvania that. Actually, forget Atlanta. So it's like she was like telling me, she was like, yeah, I'm really trying to get this graphic design business off the ground and this and that. She's like, but I can't stop doing this. It was like an addiction for her.
That's beautiful in a way. You know, like, I don't know, it's a thing that gives her some sort of pleasure or some sort of like, connection.
Yeah, I guess. But it was also something that she felt trauma bonded to.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Where it was like, she's had it's been a whole relationship she has with the clubs and with the act itself
like
and the whole thing.
Because it's a performance.
Yeah, it's a performance, exactly. So, and it's not always healthy. It's not always the healthiest interactions that you're having. Right?
I mean, I think it's like most service industry jobs, people have pretty complicated relationships with them, and it's a job.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, humans' relationships towards sex and how we live in our society is so fucked up in so many different ways.
Of course.
There's going to be some weirdos. There's going to be some situations where it's like not the best shit because you add sex into anything, it fucking just, nuclear blows it up.
Yeah. I mean, it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
It's
like, can be a job with a lot of risk.
Yeah.
Of course, and safety is definitely very important, and
it's
to
for
be
sure.
Well, I mean, at the shows that you do, which are at like shows, they're not necessarily at clubs, right? Like strip clubs per se. Like, do you ever find that other weird? Do you think it's the same kind of rush? I mean, or the same kind of like excitement that one gets. I mean, it seems like they're very two separate things. And also, do you have weird interactions from people in the audience? Is it like shtick it? Is that what it's called? Shtick?
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice area. They're not going to get it weird.
I've never had any weird. I mean, I've only been on the show twice, but both times I think we're so removed from the audience because we're on stage.
Yeah.
That I think at past shows I've heard stories. There are some hecklers who've had to be removed, but no one can really like physically reach you without being super disruptive to the show.
Right. So have you had those weirdos like in
No,
different shows?
actually-
Like,
Stalkers?
yeah.
Thankfully, no, not that I know of.
Okay. You seem offended. You seem a bit offended that you don't have any stalkers, which...
I know what the fuck.
Yeah. I know what I'm doing wrong.
Nobody's blowing up my DMs. Nobody's stalking me.
The only people I've had to block are my parents.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
what am I doing wrong?
Uncle, can you bring some friends next time? Jesus Christ, I'm trying to get some fucking pull here. That is...
At least share the content, Uncle. Share the content. Don't just be lurking in the fucking comments.
in a dark room.
Can I get a fucking
Very
repost?
strong. Very strong. That is classic uncle behavior. Very strong
Very
lady.
strong.
Because like a lot of Indian uncle DMs are very like, where's states, please and thank you. So it's like there's like a little bit of a sort of chivalry involved in this.
Yeah.
So
Wait, was it like Bob's, please, madam? Bob's, please.
Madam Bob's, please.
Madam Bob's, please.
Bobby's. Thank you, kindly.
How did this uncle even find your account?
My family, I mean, I haven't created a separate account. So it was just when I started feeling comfortable enough to post.
Well, we didn't finish the story. So your dad comes at you. Oh my God, we get so off a tangent. So yeah, what bloody bullshit, and then?
Yeah, and then I basically was just like, that's your problem.
Whoa.
I'm not gonna, if you don't like it, you can unfollow me.
Yeah. Whoa. And you don't live with them?
No.
Okay, that's a good thing, right? You're not like...
No, my parents are not brown parents in that way where they're like, live with us until you're married.
Yeah.
Although they do have the whole, they want to get a house that we can all live in with our partners and families in the future. But they are very much like, please, we don't want to hear all the weird things that happen.
Okay. Can I ask us a question? So after you laid down this gauntlet, pretty badass, Dad, stay off it, you weirdo, right? Next time you come on, it's on you. What the next interaction, right? Now you're just trying to enjoy the vibe here.
Yeah.
What was the interaction right after? Because now you kind of almost asserted your adulthood. Like, this is me. There must be a little bit of weird respect there. Like, okay, I see you, bitch.
I've always kind of pushed back with my parents in that way. I have
The youngest.
Yeah, I'm the youngest. I've been able to without getting too many
Yeah.
chops.
Both youngest, right?
Yeah. But like, I mean, it was weird. It was weird for a while. I think my parents were definitely, I felt like they were really hurt by it actually, or they felt like they were losing me in some way. And I could tell that I could tell that it came from a place of fear and like tradition, classic brown parent whorephobia and all that fun stuff. But I think I think they jumped to a weird place in their mind because of like stuff that happened with my brother and thinking that I was like veering into some random.
One's a criminal, one's a whore. Jesus Christ,
random path.
What did we do?
But I kind of just had to like reassure them that they just need to butt out and
Fuck yeah.
I'm
Right.
fine.
I'm
Like
gonna
I'm
butt in.
fine.
Are
I'm
they
doing
still
my
blocked?
thing. No, I unblock them, but they don't follow me.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Healthy
Healthy.
relationships.
Because I had to block my mom a couple times, and then she'd be like, "Don't unblock me." I'd be like, "I'm gonna unblock you, but you need to stop with the this auntie and that auntie and all that stuff." 'Cause-
Yeah.
And then I did, and then she had to adapt to me.
Yeah, and it's like, of course, they care. They
Right.
really care what everyone thinks so much. So then in their head, they're like, "Well, what will people think?" and all this stuff. And it's just like, it's my life. I don't care about that stuff, and I'm doing fine. I show up for our dinners. I show you love. I have my shit together. So that's it. That's all you need to concern yourself with.
Do they ever get the blowback, the community blowback? Has there been that kind of shitty pettiness and all that?
Not to my.
Aside from the one supportive uncle, fucking weirdo.
Oh my god.
I love this character.
Yeah, I
Very
really
strong.
want to know.
Very strong.
Very
Sam.
strong.
Very strong.
I think there were murmurs of like, what is this content?
All right.
What is the content?
They know what content is though. That's
But I just kind of removed a lot of my aunties and uncles, or I put them on like restricted profiles. So
Bro, the fucking auntie, the nosy little fucking auntie. That's just everywhere.
I know, but she has nothing else in her life, though. She has nothing else in her life, though. That's the
It's
problem.
fucking insane. Ideally, we get so sex positive that Indian uncles in 2050 are like, my son's a gigolo.
yeah.
He's doing gigolo. He's on the streets, killing it.
Looking hot as hell.
Yeah, looking hard as hell.
Yeah.
Boston's a doctor. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking doing nothing.
Yeah. Look at this.
My son Ravi is opening his own BDSM dungeon. He has his own dungeon now, huh? Very nice.
Rajesh call us. Call us with Karan.
His whole routine is based on him getting beat as a kid. Chappals, he uses
Chappal
chappals
based.
instead of whips.
Nandini has just started her dominatrix.
Nandinex. Oh my god. Ghee play.
Yeah.
Ghee play. Ghee play at Nandini X.
Yeah. Rubbing mustard oil for extra.
Okay. Too kinky.
That's so gnarly.
Too
It's-
kinky
oh my god.
Too kinky for Mango Bay. Hot mustard
Yeah,
oil.
mustard
yeah,
oil.
coconut oil is right there.
She just
but
out mangoed the fuck out of that. That's
true.
a lot. That mustard oil.
true.
Get off this podcast.
Do you think they were using that as lube, like in India? You never know. There's
horseradish?
probably some Ayurvedic thing where they're like, yes,
Yeah,
put
yeah.
2 tablespoons mustard oil in your yoni or
Get a
whatever.
bit.
Right?
Boy.
Once you can use chili oil, then you've reached nirvana.
It's the ninth chakra.
Yeah.
The ninth chakra, chili oil in your urethra. Oh my god. Mustard oil. Damn.
It's intense.
That's really intense. Well, fuck yeah, yo. I love seeing you. I fucking was so impressed. Love seeing people doing offbeat shit, and you're in that.
Thank
that
you.
life.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for coming out. Where can people find you?
Okay, so people can find me.
Oh, this is the real part of the pod. Here we go.
People can find me on Instagram at _Nali _.
Learn it.
Yeah.
Learn it. She mean girl the fuck out of her own plugs right now. Listen, bitches.
Yeah.
Playtime's over.
And then on Monday nights, I teach at a studio in Bed-Stuy called Full Circle Brooklyn. Okay. And then on Wednesday nights, I teach at a studio in Gowanus called Incredible.
Gowanus.
Amazing.
Gowanus.
Gowanus.
Yes. And I also teach private lessons.
Okay.
Fucking
Yeah.
get her on her.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Guys,
yeah.
get after it. Go hit a poll.
Go hit a poll.
Or whatever. Guys.
You
What's the
guys
most straight way to talk
you
about
two
this?
should come to class. And we should
Do a little
film
Mango
it.
Bay pole dance.
Mango Bay
dancing?
pole dancing
If we can do
edition.
the surfboard.
Yeah.
If the surfer together,
I'm the
like,
surfboard
maybe
guy.
that's what we'll like aspire to.
We can make it happen.
I want to do the surfboard with you.
I want to do the
Cowabunga,
surfboard
yeah.
with you.
I wanna be
Yeah,
the surfboard.
surfs up, buddy.
Yeah.
Of course.
It'll be like Bowser on a
I think
Mario
we should
Kart.
think of our own moves too. Like
yeah.
we need to innovate
The
on
rickshaw.
the pole. The rickshaw.
You're
is
sitting
good.
on me while I... Huh? She's like not impressed.
She's like,
That's stupid. That's stupid. And when you turn on the spin, it becomes the auto CNG. You know what I'm saying? You see that? You see what we're doing here? Love talking to you. Fucking,
You
it was sick as
too.
fuck. I'm gonna see you around. Doing
Yeah.
shit. I want to go to your shows and shit. Maybe who knows? Maybe we'll do a lesson.
Maybe
Where
we'll
do
do a lesson.
where do you both perform in New York?
Everywhere.
Just everywhere.
Just
Okay.
check our IGs and
I'll
stuff.
check. Okay.
Yeah. It's a good time. This has
Thank
been
you.
Mango Bay.
Thank you
Guys,
so
remember
much.
to
Thank
like,
you
share,
both.
subscribe, do all that. Find us on everywhere you find podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and of course Patreon for hours and hours of bonus content. This has been Mango Bay. We love you. Thank you.
Oh my god. Okay, uncle. One for the uncles
Uncle.
there. One for the uncles there a little bit.
Oh, you know what? We should have gotten a poll here.
Oh, fuck. That's a poll?
That's
What can you do with that?
technically a poll.
Okay.
Can you do anything?
Okay, see you later, Uncle Vikram.
what
and all
what
that.
is the uncle's name?
Oh, that cannot be disclosed.
I got it.
Not while we have the mics on.
I
right now.
totally get it.
Fair enough.
Uncle.
Uncle, we see you though. He's definitely watching
After all
this
this
too.
shit talking, he's one of my favorite uncles. Also,
Oh, he is?
If he calls us very
it's not.
streamer,
It's not creepy at all.
I know.
Okay.
Until he calls us
Fair
strong.
enough.
Look
Yeah,
at the
I
strong
know.
boys.
These strong boys.
Uh-oh.
Good riffs. Good riffs.
It's like the hits.
Okay, we love you guys. Thank you. Bye bye.
Good vibes? All good?
Your mango bay.